Hello and welcome to Spot Positivity. Here we are on Monday the 7th of December, and today I thought I would do something in the kitchen. I may as well do a bit this week. My name is Rosalie, by the way, and I like to just spread a little bit of joy in this crazy year, and I get a lot of good feedback from being in the kitchen and doing stuff in the kitchen, so I'm gonna, for the next few days, do a few things in the kitchen. And this is going to be a little bit of my gingerbread house journey. So let me just show you actually what we're doing. So my son and I have been working on some pieces here. You'll see right underneath there. That is going to be our little gingerbread house. And I'm going to show you a little model of it because this is kind of cool too. And this is what the whole thing is based on. Well, we found something online, and here it is. So that's the paper creation. Now, so you see we have already made some gingerbread dough, and now I'm going to proceed to make another little batch. And I've got the recipe from Sally's Baking Addiction. So I'm going to start. I have in here, I've got some butter, 85 grams of butter, which is the same as 6 tablespoons. Now I'm North American, but I've spent Canadian. Spent quite a few years, 19, 20 years in the UK. And one thing I learned about recipes and weighing and stuff like that is one thing I like weighing is butter. It's very easy to weigh butter. Okay, I'm putting 3/4 cup of brown sugar in. The reason is because you don't have to smush it into a cup and see. So there's a few things. I know how much. I know 1 cup of butter is 8 ounces. Now my new scale is only in grams, so I have to kind of learn some new measurements there, but that's fine. So that was 85 grams of butter, 3/4 cup of brown sugar. I'm going to put 1 egg in here. There it is. Now, I could be using a mixer, but I'm just going to do my own little mushiness together. Now, the recipe calls for molasses. I have found here in Cyprus some treacle, which is what I'm going to use today. I need to have 1/2 cup of this. So I'm doing this freehand. And there we go. 1/2 cup of treacle. Now one thing you find is if you're doing something in a different country, it might be exact measurement somewhere else. Now look at this, it's really beautiful swirls. But I have made the other batch to do all those bits you saw behind me, and we found it was really, really too gooey. I know you meant to make it a little gooier than you think, but it was too gooey. Now, that is my wet ingredients. I have unfortunately put away my measuring cup. Whoopsie. Gonna need that. There's some things I can do freehand and some things I cannot. So we'll just go get together. Haha. Lucky people you are, getting my measuring cup with me. So, 1 cup here. You need to put 3 cups of all-purpose flour. In Britain, that would be plain flour. And 1 cup of flour is 5 ounces. It's not all the same across the board. So I guess it'd be 15 ounces of flour. 1, 2, 3. Now, if you look at the recipe, it's really meant to be measured separately, these things. But it's not like a fiddly thing, like a cake, that you have to be careful not to overmix it. I still am careful not to overmix it. 1/4 teaspoon of baking soda. Clean hands. Now what I do is I take the edge of the thing and I mush out any little crumbles in there. 2 teaspoons of ginger. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to, I'll show you this is how this is looking here. I'm going to put all my dry ingredients on top of each other like that. And then I'm going to mix them together on top and then mix them in. 2 teaspoons of cinnamon, 2 teaspoons of ginger, 1/4 teaspoon bicarbonate of soda or baking soda. This one calls for allspice. I am using a little bit of nutmeg and cloves instead because I don't have allspice in my house. It's really not a big deal at all. But cloves, the only thing with cloves is it has a strong flavor, so you don't want to put too much in. And a 1/4 teaspoon salt. And that really is only a 1/4 teaspoon. Maybe give this a good mix. Now, this recipe calls for 2 tablespoons of water. I put that in when I did the first time, and it was far, far, far too runny. This time I think it's coming about right, and that is a really good thing because that was a pain to have to add. Now look at that's quite crumbly. So we'll add my my water. Lucky for me, I've got a water container right behind me, so I don't have to make you go across the kitchen with me. I was so sure I didn't need any water. Now I'm going to just dribble this in here. And things can go a little differently from time to time, obviously. Here's my dough. And here, this is going to be very nice. So it's okay if it's a little bit sticky when you finish it, because this is going in the fridge. And they want you to put it into 2 discs, divide it into 2 discs and stick it in the fridge, and then leave it to set for 3 hours or overnight. Now look at this, it's getting to be it's just a nice consistency. That is way better than it was last time. Maybe it's because I have the magic of having you online with me. So what I'm going to do, handy dandy spatula gets off those bits off my wooden spoon. And there we go. So what I want to do is show you a few of the different kind of processes I'm going to go through for this to complete the gingerbread house. We found the picture online, and my son made a kind of a model of it. And okay, what I'm just going to do is I'm going to take 2 little bags here. I'm a really big recycler of plastic bags. We get plastic bags on so many foods here. And okay, if you can't fight it, the thing to do is to reuse them. So I wash them really well and I use them again. It's perfect to dig. I'm just going to take this in 2 halves and put it. I'm going to put it in the bag as it is, and then flatten it into a disc after the fact. So 1 bag and 2 bags. This had frozen cherries in it before. So now it's fashionable to reuse. When I was a kid, you'd go, "Oh, your mom reuses bags? How weird!" And my mom always reused bags. We used to have milk bags, and milk bags were like this thick plastic like this. Seriously, in Cyprus, everything comes in these really thick bags, and it's kind of nostalgic for me because we always did this growing up. So there you go. I'm going to flatten that into a disc kind of shape, and then tomorrow, that's going to be so easy to roll out. And I'll stick that in my fridge. Handy dandy. Oh, handy dandy little little tags in the edges, and we'll stick them in the fridge. And we're going to have some nice gingerbread tomorrow. So I'll make those into, I'll roll them out and see what else. We've got a few more pieces for the roof to put on. Some of the pieces didn't work out right, and that's fine. We're going to make it into something nice. So I will try to record again tomorrow and show you what I'm up to. In the meantime, hope you enjoyed this. Sally's Baking Addiction is where I got the recipe from, so you can look it up there, and she's got a few good recipes. I'm not going to use her recipe for royal icing because it has egg white powder, and I don't know where to get that here, so I don't think I'm going to trouble myself. I'll just use egg whites. So we will see you tomorrow and see what we can come up with. All right, bye-bye.